Good morning, everyone. My name is Katie MacIntyre, and I'm so excited to be hosting the debut of The Loving Cup. And this podcast is all about gratitude. And I just wanted to share a little bit with us before we kick off with our guests that the findings are that grateful people are happier, less depressed, less stressed, and more satisfied with their lives and with their social relationships. And according to Cicero, gratitude is not only the greatest of the virtues, but the parent to all others. So with that, I want to introduce my guest today, Christine and her mom, Chetta.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi, Katie.
Thanks for having us.
It's nice to see you both here. So I wanted to start off and ask each of you to take a moment to introduce the other. So Christine, why don't we start with you, if you could introduce us all to your mom.
Okay. This is my mom, Conchetta Brown. Everyone calls her Chetta. She was born in New Jersey, moved to Vermont, and now has relocated to Seneca Falls for the last almost 30 years. And yeah, this is my mom.
Wonderful.
Well, and Christine, of course, is my daughter. She's the second of two children I have, and I'm very proud of both of them. I'm luckier, though, to be able to spend time with Christine because she lives near. My son is out of state, and we work together every day.
Yes, we
And that's
do.
a pretty new thing, right?
Yes, I had a full-time job, and part-time I would support Christine's endeavors in her craft. And now, since I've been retired, it's a full-time thing for both of us.
That's great. So Christine, we should make sure everyone knows what it is that you do and what your craft is.
Yes. I am a jewelry designer, and a couple years ago I opened a storefront in downtown Seneca Falls, CVDesigns Boutique. And it kind of started with jewelry, but we've evolved and now have scarves and accessories and home decor and a few things from other local artists. So my mom has helped me since we were actually in this building. We started very small and we're slowly growing the business, so it's exciting.
That's great. That's wonderful. So I think you could ask anyone and they would tell you that life can be kind of hard sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I think that no human is immune to that. So I wanted to do this podcast so that we could really celebrate the moments that are just wonderful and awesome, and that help us find that balance to when things are really tough. So I wanted to ask each of you if you could talk a little bit about what you've learned from the other in life.
Absolutely. Would you like me to kick it off?
Sure.
So I've always been very grateful for the values and the connection that my mom and I have always had. One of the biggest things that, she kind of taught us by example is, the importance of strength and perseverance, regardless of hardships or struggles that you may face. I mentioned her and my father moved here when I was about 18 months old, and she was cleaning houses with me on her back, to earn a living and still care for my brother and I. And, throughout the years, even while going through a divorce from her husband and, different things that just happen in life, as you mentioned, she got a job at the county office building, and later got into the New York State court system. She started at entry level, and she retired almost a year ago, December 31st of last year, as the chief clerk of family court. Awesome. And she did so. She didn't have a college degree. She had some college courses, but I think that really the root of her success is her determination to better your circumstance, regardless of kind of some of the things that go on around you. And, even though there were times that we, may have struggled financially or things like that, we were never taught that we were victims of anything, that we were going without. We were always loved. We had everything we needed, and I think that's really important in this day and age.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
And I'm going to try not to cry during this podcast. That's
Us too.
One of my
we tend to be criers.
So beautiful. So
well, I've been very blessed all my life because I started out with a wonderful family, parents and siblings. So I was always grateful for that, especially as I got into my career and saw what other families have to deal with. I never had that problem. And then, of course, having Christine, she has taught me that, again, she talks about perseverance, and I think it's the same with her because she took different courses, paths in her life and as to what she wanted to do, and she kept coming back to it, but I really love the creativity, the nonconformist type of work. Can we make it work? And she has. She's the forward thinker. I'm the conservative part to her actions in her job.
She keeps me grounded.
I do keep her a little grounded, but she's the dreamer, and she's the one that shows me that really all kinds of things are possible. So, and I'm grateful that I'm a part of it.
That's awesome. So before we talk a little bit more about gratitude, let's just shift for a second. And if you could give a piece of advice to someone who's thinking of starting their own business, is there a tip that each of you could share?
I always, in our many talks, and when I first started the business and before we started, really, my mom would say, "Do you know how many necklaces you have to sell just to make it? Just to break even?" And there was always just a kind of a voice in my head saying, "Why not me? Why not?" And I don't think that things just happen to you. I think it does take a lot of hard work. My husband and I have a joke that, being self-employed is great. You get to pick which, 14 hours a day you work. So, it definitely takes hard work, but I think just the real belief in yourself and your passion is really crucial to just starting. Just start and see where it leads. So,
I would say that everybody must work hard. Nothing comes easily. People think that successful people just got there because they were lucky, and I say that that's not the case. I believe that it takes a lot of work, but it's worth it because our time on earth is limited, and we don't want to waste time.
No,
so
absolutely.
Spend it doing the best thing and the thing that makes you the happiest.
That's great advice. Yeah, we all get one life, so we have to make the best of it, and I think and celebrate the people around us who are doing amazing things.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
That's why I was so excited that you were coming on to
thank you.
share with us first. So let's talk a little bit about gratitude and dive into that a little bit more about what you're really so grateful for about each other and about the life that you've been able to create together.
Sure. Well, as I've mentioned, and as people who know us know, we have a very strong relationship. We have for, all of my life. And, we've always had really strong trust and communication. And I've just always felt like I have such a strong support system with my mom. All the things that happen in life, just knowing that she's there, it's made all of the difference. And so I'm just so grateful for that. And as she mentioned, to be sharing this kind of journey together is really special. So
I'd say the same thing. It's an opportunity for each of us to show how much we care for each other and be able to spend time with each other. Families are separated all the time in life due to different situations, but if there's a way to connect and show your love, whether it's to family or friends, that's what really matters. And it makes you feel good. It makes other people feel good. It makes you feel good. And it just sort of multiplies. It compounds, the gratitude compounds all the benefits that we keep getting.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's not just one person that benefits from the gratitude. It's a contagious thing too.
It is.
And it grows.
Yeah.
So you said your mom came here 30 years ago to Seneca Falls?
I think so,
So
yeah.
do you remember when you arrived to Seneca Falls and you had Christine, who was a little 1.5-year-old? And I mean, do you remember thinking about the future? And did you ever think that something like your boutique, Christine's boutique, that you would be helping her create that?
No, never, because a lot of times we get hung up in just the idea of surviving. You know, getting a job to pay the rent, getting a job to pay for food, just kind of going along, surviving somehow in, you know, you don't really stop, or sometimes don't make time to stop and think about what your dream might be. Or I didn't anyway. I was focused on, you know, I've got a family and how do I, you know, care for them. But that changed, and as the children that I have grew, obviously it opened up my eyes to other things.
Yeah, isn't it fun sometimes that the children can help the parents?
Yes, for
see
sure.
things in a different way too.
Yes.
That is really exciting. So I think we've talked a lot about your story. Is there anything else that you want to share with folks that are watching and listening that you think would be fun for them to know about you, or like your wildest adventure, or something fun, that a moment you've shared outside of your business? Because I think you spend lots and lots of time within your beautiful brick and mortar business. But
one of the things that I kind of was thinking about as you were talking was, you know, I think that one of the biggest things about gratitude is passing it on, and you know, passing on when you do have good fortune, or when things are going well, or even when they're not. You know, we've always believed in service to the community that you live in, and I think that taking the time to do those things, really, it's not only rewarding to you, but you're giving back, and that's one of the things that I would encourage more people to try and do. You know, our world just needs more good-hearted people, and you know, we've always believed that when you give, you also get back in so many different ways. So that's kind of something that I was thinking about with regard to the podcast and gratitude and everything.
wonderful.
I agree with all the things that both Christine and you have been saying, Katie. I think that gratitude is a positive attitude, and it's the negativity that can affect every aspect of your life very rapidly. So if you stay away from the negativity and enforce the positive aspect, everybody benefits.
Yes, certainly.
Definitely. So thank you all we're going to wrap up here. Thank you all for joining in our first session of the Loving Cup, Elevate Your Gratitude. I encourage you all to grab a friend and grab a cup of coffee, like is in our picture, and spend some time, like we talked about today, and share with others what you appreciate about them and what you're grateful for those in your life. And with that, please continue to share your gratitude and tune in next week for our second round of guests. So thank you, Christine. Thank you, Conchetta.
Thanks so much
for sharing your story.
Thanks.